My name is Kumar, and I'm a very good friend of Abraham Johnson. And also, I was with Aruba Welcome Center way back. So, not sure whether you remember my profile. So, I'm very happy to connect through this presentation. Hope you would like it. I would like to follow a very simple agenda. So I'm approaching this call more like a discovery call and also take this as an opportunity to showcase our services in DevSecOps. So to start with, Kaiburr is an innovator of AI and machine learning driven ops simplification platform. We are based out of in Cambridge, Massachusetts in US. So Kaiburr's platform is deeply engineered by experts across the globe using the cutting edge technologies that scales horizontally as serverless components on Kubernetes clusters. So Kyber has a kind of global team with Fortune 500 and top technology firm as our customer across the world. So, I just wanted to probably walk you through the very simple presentation, which you can see here. So Kaiburr guarantees engineering excellence so every software product team can continuously develop and deliver software like the top 3% in the industry. So what are the benefits, business benefits of engineering excellence? So what do we mean by engineering excellence? A team which is continuously striving for and continuously able to achieve closer and closer to an engineering excellence is the one that can produce software at exceeding levels of feature velocity. So can have, and I mean, like you can have a good developer productivity or, where they are producing very high quality in terms of both their product quality as well as code quality. They're highly predictable in terms of their releases. So they are kind of resilient to various situations that they encountered during the overall release cycles. And they were able to produce software that is continuously shifting left which is left on the security and compliances. So it's like very secured software which they are able to produce. So the team that can have these qualities are the one that are able to produce engineering excellence. So just moving on to the next slide. Kaiburr has two primary methodologies to achieve engineering excellence. The best practices driven software delivery and the other is benchmarking for continuous improvement against the top players in the industry. So, in terms of best practices, Kaiburr's platform or even policy has Code Engine, which is one of the most sophisticated policy engine which you can see in terms of software delivery lifecycle, which will also helps you to validate very atomic level or even best practices starting from planning all the way up to the production tickets with your software delivery lifecycle. So let's take a few examples. How am I doing in terms of predictability of my key initiatives? Am I doing story with story points or story with appropriate acceptance criteria? Then stories that have lineage to epics and initiatives, or am I doing matured pull request practices, or do I have the proper code quality review in place and remediation of such technical debt? So, am I following my branching strategies as set forth by myself, or as well as following the necessary standards, or own my branching and merging and whatnot, you know? Or even you can probably think about the right kind of pipeline maturity for my CI/CD, as well as do I have a effectiveness in terms of shifting security? So, which is left in terms of appropriate security testing, or am I making sure that I don't miss any kind of security testing even for a single build release lifecycle? Or do I have the right kind of thresholds, right kind of stage gates in my security testing and validation process? Or even you can think about do I have a appropriate coverage of test cases for my requirements? Or am I effectively utilizing my test cases or effectively automating my test cases all the way up to release processes and the cycle time and the time for recovery in terms of production tickets? So this is just a kind of tip of the iceberg in terms of the kinds of policy that we validate. Kaibu validate against 600 plus best practices for every software team. So I'm just showing how, here a kind of small set of important one. So you can get a sense of how deep we go in terms of helping teams to identify the gaps in the process and continuously improving it using the policy engine. So the second core methodology that we follow is ability to validate 350 plus industry standard KPIs on the software. The delivery process, starting from set of KPIs that a CDO would, wanted to capture all the way up to an SRE. So you can know how are you doing this in core KPIs, you know. So if you could see, like, we probably help in budgeting, planning, and all the way up to ITS, SM as well. So mean time to resolve. So just moving on to the next slide. So Kaiburr is able to do this by connecting to the most of the tools like the following that you're seeing in the screen that are used by various enterprises, starting from a tools like Jira, and then Jenkins, I would say, then GitLab, Sona Cube, 45, Veracode, ServiceNow, all the way up to testing tools like Qtest, HPalm. So the idea is how can you connect to all of this and get that one unified view to validate your best practices as well as your KPIs. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay. All right, I'm just going to talk about this, very quickly. Kaibur's intellectual property make this happen in very short period of time. Literally, within minutes of configuring your tools in Kaibur, you can get the kind of sophisticated outcome which I was explaining before. That made possible by a deeply engineering framework where we have created economical models for every business function. So, for example, you could be using multiple tools for the same purposes, like you could be using Jira or Azure, Board and Rally for ALM, or you could be even using GitLab, Jenkins, and Circle for CI purposes. So when you use all these multiple tools like that, Kaiboor converts all of that into functional data instead of dealing with what you have as tool data. So, my point here is you can apply a lot of machine learning models for cross correlation informations. So we can connect the dots between your stories to your commits. So to your builds or to even to your artifact to release and whatnot, you know. And then your policy engine. I just wanted to talk about this policy engine. Applies all like kind of functional levels or the KPIs are generated by the visualization engine and any kind of sophisticated machine learning models for root cause, the analysis. So, or even anomaly detection or even the prediction, all of them are executed as well. So, I just wanted to talk about this use cases or in other words, our top customer list. So we've been like handling multiple various domains, like starting from automobiles to BFSI. And you may be surprised, why are we pitching in, to Aruba or to telecom industry like yours? Because recently we have signed a contract with Verizon and we are in talks. We are in the process of vendor management, team documentation. So hopefully we will have it. So the purpose of this call is to probably let you know that our product can track all your people management skills. For example, if you have a lot of vendors in place, you can track all the vendors output by just installing our product into your tools. So maybe I can walk you through some of the mean time to change. In other words, our software helped one of our top customers as how we have identified the blogs or even identified the mistakes what they have done in the matter of 48 hours. For example, when you see the screen, we estimated about like 104 hours was being spent on certain project. So once the defect density has been installed in the prospect or the customer tools, we came to know that 42% was there. There was a kind of gap between the productivity and the release policies. So we reduced from 42%. So this is some of the screens which I would share it to you. If you could see, there are multiple ways of pulling out the kind of reports. Okay, and this is a kind of sprint variability is a kind of ratio of tasks delivered against those committed at the start of the sprints. So whatever we commit, we exactly follow that. So Bipin, just let us know your availability for a quick session with my technical team, and I'll also showcase how our product is helping customers like you to, perform in the top 3% in the industry. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity, Bipin. I'm looking forward to connect with you. Thank you, Johnson. Thank you for your help. Bye bye.